Hi everyone, this is our statistic project on sleep duration and academic performance among university students. We analyze survey data to examine whether sleep affects GPA. This work was prepared by our team, Cansu, Ceren, Nazlı, and me, Şevval. Our goal was to test if there is a statistically significant relationship between students' average sleep duration and their GPA. We applied descriptive statistics, normality tests, and hypothesis testing to analyze the data. Sleep impacts cognitive performance, including memory and concentration. University students often have irregular sleep. We wanted to quantify the effects of sleep on GPA using statistical methods. The dataset includes responses from students' average sleep duration, GPA, part-time job status, and year of study. We use this data for analysis with SPSS.
In this slide, we present basic descriptive statistics. The average sleep duration is 6.68 hours with a standard deviation of 1.08. The average GPA is 2.81 and its standard deviation is 0.38. Sleep duration shows more variability compared to GPA. Most students sleep between 6 and 7 hours per night. This histogram shows the distribution of GPA among students. A large proportion of GPAs are concentrated between 2.6 and 3.2. The distribution appears approximately normal, which supports the use of parametric tests. Before performing statistical tests, we check the normality assumption. According to the Shapiro-Wilk test, both sleep duration and GPA are normally distributed. QQ plots also support this conclusion. Therefore, our data is appropriate and parametric analysis. This slide summarizes three hypothesis tests. There is a weak negative correlation between sleep duration and GPA, but it is not statistically significant. A t-test showed no significant GPA difference between students with and without part-time jobs. ANOVA results indicated no significant GPA differences across academic years. These findings suggest that sleep duration, job status, and academic year do not significantly affect GPA in the sample.
This box plot compares GPA between students who have part-time jobs and those who doesn't. Visually, we can see that the medians and overall distributions are quite similar between the two groups. While there may be a slightly higher median GPA for students with part-time jobs, the overlapping ranges suggest that the difference is not statistically significant. The slide presents the results of our regression analysis. We use a sample linear regression model to predict the GPA based on sleep duration. The model is GPA equals 3.0 minus 0.07 and sleep duration. This slide shows the confidence intervals calculated for our data. First, the %95 confidence interval for GPA is between 2.74 and 2.88. Meaning we were %95 confident that the true average GPA of the population lies with this range. To validate our findings, we also run non-parametric tests. First, we use the Mann-Whitney test to check for GPA differences between the students with and without part-time jobs. The results showed no significant difference. Next, we ran the Kraskell-Wells test to analyze GPA differences across different academic years, and again, no significant difference was found. Lastly, we use the Spearman correlation as a non-parametric alternative to Pearson. The results were very similar, reinforcing that sleep duration has little to no correlation with GPA, regardless of the method used.
Now let's take a look at the results and the conclusion of our study. First, we found that there is no significant link between sleep duration and GPA. This means that how long students sleep doesn't appear to directly affect their academic performance. Second, we looked at other factors like academic year and job status, and similarly, these variables were not statistically significant in predicting GPA either. Lastly, the main takeaway from our findings is that sleep alone doesn't predict academic success. So while sleep is important for overall health and well-being, it is not that sole factor that determines how well students perform academically. Here we see a box plot illustrating GPA by year of study. Each box represents the distribution of GPAs within a particular academic year. While there are slight variations in the median GPA and the range of scores, there is no clear trend that suggests GPA consistently increases or decreases with academic year. For example, some first-year students have relatively high GPAs, while some upper year students show more variability or lower medians. Statistically, analysis confirmed that the year of study does not significantly impact GPA, supporting that conclusion that academic performance is influenced by a more complex set of factors rather than a year alone. Before we wrap up, I would like to briefly discuss the limitations of our study and some suggestions for future research. First, it is important that note that our data was simulated and not collected from real-world participants, while limits the generalizability of our findings. Second, we did not include several important variables such as stress level, diet, or the quality of high study habits, all of which could play a significant role in academic performance. Finally, for future work, we recommend conducting real-world longitudinal studies, which would allow researchers to track students over time and better understanding how sleep and other lifestyle factors impact academic outcomes in real-life settings. This histogram shows the distribution of sleep duration among the participants. As we can see, most students reported sleeping between 6 to 7 hours per night, which performs the peak of the distribution. There are fewer students sleeping less than 5 hours or more than 8 hours, and the data appears to follow a roughly normal distribution. This visualization helps us understand the overall sleeping habits in our sample before we analyze any potential effects on academic performance. And this is our sources. Thank you for listening.